rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, would you take the roll, please?
Alderpersons Egebrecht.
Here.
Hanson. Here. Hilson.
Here.
Marty.
Here.
Panaleo. Here. Roseberry. Here. Mayor LaQuee.
Here.
Street Superintendent Barry.
Here.
And Chief Anderson has been excused.
Approval or correction of minutes for a meeting held on July 20th, 2015, regular session.
I'll make a motion to accept those as printed.
Second. Any discussion on it? If not, would you take the roll, clerk, please?
Roseberry. Here. Egebrecht.
Yes.
I meant yes. Sorry. Hanson. Yes. Hilson.
Yes.
Marty.
Yes.
Panaleo. Here.
Petitions, communications. I guess I don't see anybody here, so everybody must be happy.
Let's hope so.
Report of standing committees. Finance Committee.
The Finance Committee was called to order on July 20th, 2015 at 5 p.m. On roll were members Roseberry, Marty, and Hilson. Others attending: Mayor LaQuee, Clerk Treasurer Winters, Deputy Clerk Treasurer
Tomsky.
Gostomski, and Street Superintendent Bob Berry. Motion by Marty, second by Hilson, to approve the minutes of the June 18th, 2015 meeting as printed. All voted aye. Petitions and communications. Clerk Winters informed the committee that we would be receiving an $11,000 pilot payment in lieu of taxes payment from the Adams County Housing Authority next week. We will be receiving the first payment of our shared revenue, approximately $91,000, on July 27th. She also reminded the committee of the August tax settlement from the county in the amount of $261,313 there. Agenda items: discussion and recommendation relating to U.S. Cellular ground lease agreement. A discussion was held and the mayor explained the agreement. Recommendation by Marty, second by Hilson, to approve the U.S. Cellular ground lease agreement. All voted aye. Discussion and recommendation relating to CPA services agreement. A discussion was held regarding the CPA agreement. Recommendation by Hilson, second by Marty, to approve the CPA services agreement. All voted aye. 2015 budget review process, review revenues and expenditures. The reports were reviewed and a discussion was held. Motion by Marty, second by Hilson, to approve the bills at payment of bills. All voted aye. And motion by Marty and second by Hilson to adjourn. All voted aye. Our next meeting is going to be August 17th. At 5 p.m., which is right before council. So if anyone wants to come a little early and tape, you can do that too.
He heard you.
Any questions? If not, we'll go to the Policy and Procedure Committee. Don Hanson.
Policy and Procedure Committee was called to order on July 29, 2015 at 5:30 p.m. On roll call were members Hanson, Roseberry, and Marty. Others attending were Mayor LaQuee, Clerk Winters, and Street Superintendent Barry. Motion by Marty, second by Roseberry, to approve the minutes of the July 15, 2015 meeting as printed. All voted aye. Petition and communications, there were none. And agenda items: the Personnel Administrative Policy Handbook continues to be revised. Motion by Marty, second by Roseberry, to adjourn. All voted aye.
Thank you. Any questions, Lloyd? Okay, move into the report of city officers. We got our new help on board, and Bob says he's working out great.
You bet.
I went over, now that we got some new help and things are quieted down a little bit, I went over today and took a tour walk around to Burt Morris Park. There's quite a few areas that are getting run down a little bit. I'm going to start coordinating with Bob Berry on getting some of the repairs put in place, primarily painting and some steel roofing. There's not very much expense involved. The biggest part of it's labor. And I'm trying to coordinate with the county to get community service workers to spend a couple days with us and get that work done. Other than that, it's been fairly quiet.
Is there any idea that we could probably spray the weeds at the tennis court?
That's on my list.
Okay, thank you. They just look, I
Yep.
mean, not a lot of people use that, but it just looks kind of
That's on my
shiny.
list to get them sprayed and then go over maybe weed whack and get them cleaned out of there.
I see a few people using it. I went through it earlier this year with Reinhardt, discussing what we could do with it. And I see a few people using it. I think the school uses it.
The school
quite
still
a bit,
uses it
too.
in the spring and the fall. I believe they'll come over in the spring. I've seen, the ambulance guys have been over there on their breaks every once in a
Yeah.
while playing over there. It's kind of comical to see two ambulance parked there and they're out there before them in their uniforms playing tennis, killing time.
I discussed it with Reinhardt, and that's gonna be a fairly expensive little project, so I kind of postponed it for this year. But it's getting pretty rough. Some of the cracks are inch wide.
Yep.
Do you also spray like the sidewalks? Because I walked here tonight and at the intersections, some of those weeds are
The only sidewalks we've normally sprayed have been like Main Street.
Main Street.
And we've done that usually like the week before the 4th of July, so things are cleaned up for the parade. That's really the only sidewalks we've ever really done anything with, so.
It's hard to get manpower too.
Oh, I bet.
I was finished, but now we're on with Bob Berry here. Yeah, if he's got projects that need to be done, see if we can schedule up some of that free help. Let people work on to get to the society.
Our sidewalks, interior parts, are they our responsibility to take care of the weeds, or is that homeowners? I guess that's gonna be kind of really a question to ask. I know, as far as I understand, they're more homeowners' responsibility. I mean, they're supposed to keep them shoveled in the winter and
We have a hard enough time getting them mow their
getting them to mow their lawns, yeah, so.
Well, I know when they did Liberty and Cedar by us, I mean, we had to pay for those sidewalks, and it was under the assumption that we have to keep those
Right,
sidewalks.
that's what I thought too, so.
Probably is.
It's probably not happening.
Or using the community service workers would be a good idea because it's an investment in the city. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, if it had to be replaced because the cracks get large, you know, then it costs the city money again.
There's quite a demand for those public service workers, or community service workers. I called her today and talked to her, and she said about the soonest they got an opening is first week of September. So I told her to write me in.
Yep. To expand on what the mayor was talking about, one of the things that I did have Bruce do today, he was over looking at the dugouts in the buildings, getting measurements for what it's gonna cost for doing roof on some of them. The big garage over by the, I'll call it the north shelter, the one kind of across from your place, that roof on that is one that definitely needs to be replaced and taken care of. One other dugout is, I'd say, put right on that same list as that garage. The other dugout over there, might have another year left in it. Two of the other dugouts that still have shingles on them aren't in too bad a shape. They could probably hold off for 2, maybe 3 years. The concession stand and two of the other dugouts already have the tin roofs on them. And looking at them, I know you and I had talked about maybe just doing some spot painting on some of them. If we're gonna paint, I think we need to just paint all of them just to make everything uniform, clean it up. The more I thought about it today after you and I had talked, to try and like just paint one end or
Yeah.
paint where it looks a little worse compared to others, I think that's gonna make it look worse than anything, but
If the colors don't match good, it's gonna
Exactly.
stand out like a sore
Exactly.
thumb. I
So-
thought about that later.
yeah. Some of you are aware, some of you may not have heard yet. 9 days ago, Thursday, when the fair was going on, we come to work that Friday morning. Chris, our part-timer, called me right when he was getting there, wondered what happened to the battery in one of our pickup trucks that was parked in our green shed back there. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, there's no battery in it. Oh, come on, Chris. So I went back there and I thought, in the dark, he just didn't have a flashlight and couldn't see the battery to hook the charger up to it. Well, I popped the hood and sure as shit, there was no battery in there. So I started checking some of the other trucks that were parked outside, and lo and behold, someone stole 5 batteries from us overnight out there.
Wow.
So I ran up and talked to the police department. They come down, did a report. I went up and talked to Buck's Recycling and let them know what was going on. Well, lo and behold, while I was up there talking to him, the guy who supposedly was back there and took all our batteries was outside with the batteries in his car. As I was leaving, this guy came up to me and proceeded to tell me, well, you need to talk to these guys out on M. They got a pickup truck full of batteries, trying to get the blame away from him. Come to find out, this was the guy, he had the batteries with him. We do have 2 of our batteries back that we got from Bucks that we could pretty much verify were ours, because they left, the one truck had 3 batteries in it. They left one, took 2, they were all identical batteries. Later on, when I had Bruce mowing in the field next to the shop there, we found a duffel bag with another battery in it and a gas can that he had taken out of that same truck. They couldn't, the police department could not charge him with that theft, but they did charge him with possession of stolen property. So, because we couldn't completely prove that he was the one who took them, even though he had possession of them, so that's what he did get charged with, so.
No serial numbers, none of the dates were scratched off, so.
But we did wind up having to, we needed that one pickup truck that morning, so we wound up having to put a new battery in that. That was one of the ones that we found in the field, so now we've got that one back on the shelf as a spare. The 2 batteries are back in the truck, but we still had to buy 2 brand new batteries for the other truck.
Are our vehicles locked up?
They are now.
They are now, and we pulled the keys, but the problem was, back 6, 7 years ago, when we had that fence put around the shop area, the fence was never completed and put all the way around, so there were areas where you can walk right into that shop area. And,
Well,
you know, none of these batteries,
maybe that is something we need to
we're
put on
gonna,
the-
I've already
on top
got
of the
quotes,
list.
there, we're gonna be bringing it up at Public Works next week, so that was one of the first things
You know, I hate to spend money, but I
Well,
think that's.
that was one of the first things when I talked to Roger and Warren, and I actually had Roger down there with me when the guy came to measure and get the quotes, so. But yeah, that's going to Public Works
We got
next week.
several
so.
different quotes and ideas.
Too bad there was a lot of fencing at the auction, at the school auction.
You know, who would have thought, so, but,
Could've walked up there and got it for free.
Yeah.
so that was new and exciting that one week. The guys have finished another round of pothole patching, and we also bought a dump truck full of patch that we did some large areas where we dumped a bunch out and spread it out. Instead of filling 20 little holes, we kind of overlaid the whole area. We did a bunch out on West State Street. We did a bunch out by Coldwell Banker. Last couple of years we've been trying to do spots like that, and they seem to hold up real good. It's a lot cheaper doing that than having to get someone in here and spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 to chip seal whole streets. So hopefully they'll hold up pretty good. I'm hoping to maybe, depending on where budget is, get another dump truck in to do some more areas like that. in lieu of the theft of everything back there, I've had Bruce and the guys mow, and we're gonna take that lot that's next to the shop, and we're gonna wind up eventually here clearing all of those trees out of there and getting that lot cleared up like it was started a couple years back and never got finished. We're gonna be working on that. Chris, our part-timer, is down to about 200 hours now, so I'm gonna start picking a bunch of little projects. Right now I've got him out painting fire hydrants rather than having us paint fire hydrants at 20 bucks an hour. I'd rather see him painting fire hydrants and little things like that. So I've got a bunch of little projects like that that I'm gonna have him be doing.
If he gets too bored, Bob, that you could give him a gallon of paint, let him paint that lion shelter too.
Okay, yep,
If you get to run out of things, little projects.
okay. Those have been on my mind to do too over there in Lions Park, so. Chris and Brian yesterday and last week finished up a lot of the curb and gutter yellow painting around fire hydrants and everything. They did gotten most of the interior crosswalks painted. We've got like 4 or 5 gallons left of white paint that tomorrow they're gonna go around and hit a lot of the interior streets, stop signs and stop bars to finish up the paint we got. Then they're gonna get going on sewer jetting. So we're slowly plugging along, getting little things done for the summer, so.
What day was that I sent you and Chief up to Sherman Street? Tuesday?
Thursday last week?
Tuesday?
Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that last week, so.
I received complaints from residents out on Sherman Street that Grand Marsh Dairy was hauling tankers of liquefied manure down that street, and it was an ungodly amount. When I talked to her, they started at 5:30 in the morning, and by 8 o'clock that morning, already 31 tankers went down through. And the previous day, there was an ungodly number. Anyway, as soon as I got the complaint, I had the chief get down there and put a stop to it. That's just a little 5-ton road there. Those tankers, they got to be going probably 80,000.
Oh, probably easily, yeah.
So chief got down there and put a stop to it, and they said, well, there's no sign, so Bob put a sign up for him and stopped it.
Hopefully.
The complaints come in on the second day of it. I told him, I said, I wish you'd have called me the minute it started the day before. I could have put a stop to it then, but.
I could smell it by my house there.
Oh, yeah.
I thought there was a sewer somewhere leaking. I was running around the neighborhood kind of looking, you know.
Why, where were they going? I don't know.
Where were they
They
taking
were
it?
hauling it down Sherman Street. It's a dead-end street that comes out
Right by Jack Pine's.
into that big irrigation field
I
across
think
from
it's full of
Cedar
Gary.
Shores.
That all the way.
That's one of the
Stuff
ones
that
that-
I-
Yeah.
Oh.
Getting full of snow.
That's what I've got.
Okay. New and unfinished business. Approved payment of bills.
I make the motion, we approve the payment of the bills. Second that.
Any discussion? If not, please take the roll, clerk, please.
Egebrecht,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Pilson,
Yes.
Marty,
Yes.
Panaleo,
Yes.
Roseberry.
Yes.
Now we need a motion to adjourn.
I
I
move
make-
to adjourn.
I'll second it.